I don't know.
I'm really sad. I just missed Shay saying "hush now" to her cat.
I know.
Buddha.
Somebody. Well, I don't know.
Who was meowing in the back. Was
it Buddha? I don't know. It could have been Colonel. I don't know.
That was Colonel.
It doesn't matter.
Anyways,
they all matter. They're all my babies.
All my little children that are cats. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome
my
to
crooked ass head.
30-ish.
Oh, hi, Aunt. Look at her. The first one
podcast.
on. She was on prompt today.
Hi, Auntie Measure 98.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Welcome to 30-ish podcast, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Brie.
And I'm Shay.
And
all day.
This is the podcast that we are happy to share with you.
This is only like the 23rd time that we've done this. I don't know why you're acting like you're like, I don't remember how to do this.
Anyways, what's up? What's going on?
Not much.
What's shaking?
I'm right back where we started before, just sitting in your lap. Snuggling.
Here we are.
Yep.
It's cozy.
It's very cozy up here.
Cozy 101.1 if you are on the front range for radio stations.
Shut up. I love you.
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing solid. I'm drinking like pretty much my shot because you bought us some. Although like
I was in deep storytelling mode to Shay while I was making our drinks today, and I think I don't really know for sure.
Yeah.
But I think I accidentally did a quadruple shot.
You guys will know on my segment when I can't fucking pronounce anything, so it'll be great.
We'll have to see. I guess this is an experiment to see what happens.
Hashtag science.
But we also, which I forgot to bring it up, used our... We'll just talk about our drinks.
Yes.
We're just going to go right into that.
Yes.
Hi, how are you? We're using Dram Citrus and Blossoms soda water, sparkling adaptogenic water.
I honestly feel like you're in front of like your 6th grade class right now in front of a presentation that you were not prepared for, and that like I did the most of the assignment and you were like,
I misunderstood the assignment.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyways, that's what we're drinking
with
vodka, and who knows how much of it. Who knows how much vodka's in there.
A lot of vodka.
There's some. Mm-hmm. Okay, so so that's what we're drinking.
Yeah, but it's
got
really
that
good.
out of the way.
Hashtag
it's delicious.
Sponsor us. Oh, and then we threw in some High Noon.
She don't need a sponsor
to cut it. So
we just want to represent. Oh, to cut it?
Yeah, because it was a little spicy.
It was really spicy, so we might have put a floater of High Noon on there, which is where they're from.
But it's fine. Oh,
where are they from?
I don't know.
They're from Modesto, California.
Look
That's
at that.
Kind of by where I'm from, not really at all, but it's in California, it's so perfect.
The proximity is a little off, but it's okay, Magellan. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not Magellan.
No, but you ain't Columbus either, so it's fine.
No, but we won't get into that conversation again.
No, we won't. Sure won't.
What's been going on? How was your week? We're back at it. Fucking literally a week later.
Yeah, like we're consistency, yo.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a fucking row. Boop, 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 boop.
30ish.
Everybody get up. I didn't mean to sing that one.
Are you drunk already? I like it.
I'm not.
I like it though. I like the energy. I like the enthusiasm. It's good.
Me and Chris have been drinking.
Ooh.
Smoking our old weed.
Oh, okay.
And so he actually brought some stuff that wasn't old home today.
Oh, so
and I didn't realize that I smoked some of it, but he's like, yeah, I got some new stuff. And I was like, oh, so maybe that's...
It could be why you're a little zingy, zappy, zig.
And I'm also like, I have been in my house. I didn't have to go to work today. I just did a bunch of shit in my house today.
So you just need like some social interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up not having to go in. So I was like, all right.
Here we go.
I'm here talking to people. Perfect.
Me and my cats. Okay, so what'd you roll then? Speaking of talking about things.
I rolled food.
Oh, okay. I'm excited about that. We all are very excited when you talk about food.
I know, it's going to be a fun one, and I'm just probably I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you, like I
always do.
You know,
which is always
dope. and just always wanting to spark your own pursuit of, if I do spark anything in you, to go find more knowledge about this, because clearly what I'm saying is not all the knowledge.
I mean,
surprise!
Don't cut yourself short.
I know. I am a master of the knowledge.
Yes.
So,
man,
what'd you roll?
Crime. Can you guess what I'm going to be talking about? Wow, I can speak.
You're gonna talk about
murder.
Murder.
That's all she wrote.
She wrote.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good. I think you're gonna.
It's a good murder.
It's a wild.
It's a good old fashioned murder.
I will let you know this time. Like, somebody dies because, like, last week you were tripped up because you were waiting for the punchline.
I was tripped up.
Yeah.
It did trip me up, and I was like, "Whoa."
So I'm gonna just remind you when we started again. I'm gonna be like, remember, somebody dies, so it's gonna be fine.
Okay, thank you for telling me that. I shouldn't have to have you tell me that beforehand, but
I mean,
it did catch me off guard that you never talked about someone getting murdered last time, and I was like,
which is sad.
Wait, you're done? I thought the story was still developing.
When does their family implode? I don't understand.
That was a wild ride you took us on.
Yeah,
last
I know.
Week,
well, this is another good ride. So,
Mr. Toads.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's no murder in that.
I mean, there could be. I don't know.
Was there murder in that story?
It's a dark ride, so
there probably was in the secret archives.
Yeah.
Anyway, well,
okay.
Just a reminder. Since you have these out,
I know. I think I was
Shay
subconsciously
out, so.
being like, do you want to say something about them?
If you guys want a sticker, look at these little bad boys.
Bad boys.
Oh, by the way, did you guys see our new little logo that we made? That
Pretty
Shay
dope.
made?
Yeah. It's like we're back in the 90s, and you're going to a roller skate party, and or you're going to Discovery Zone. I don't know.
You're going somewhere, and it's not here in this time.
No. It's back in your DeLorean. It's awesome.
It's cheesy. It's sleazy. It's beautiful and suitable.
I mean, yeah.
No, it's like perfection.
I mean, it is. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't want to say that because that sounds like egotistical of me, but it's pretty good. You should go check it out.
Yeah, go let us know what you think about it. But also, we have these stickers.
Yeah. Of our old logo.
Of the old logo.
So now we won't get
sued. But also, it's fun because it looks like a Yahtzee box, but it's like, oh, that's not a Yahtzee box. It's 30ish Podcast. Tricksters.
That's anyway. What we do here at 30ish. We just tricksters and drinkers.
Yeah, so, yeah. Tricksters and drinkers.
Maybe that's what we should call our followers.
Hey, tricksters
and drinkers.
Hi. So, yeah, if you want a sticker, all you have to do is you can just DM us if you want, or not really, because you have to tag us, because you have to post something that reminds you of being 30ish, or that reminds you of us, or reminds you of a fucking topic that we did that you're like, oh my god, the fucking chupacabra, 30ish, hashtag. But you can't just hashtag it, you have to at 30ish, because we will never see it if you don't add us. And then you'll be like, wow, they didn't even send me a fucking sticker. What, bitches? And we'll be like, you didn't add us.
You're like, make that 49 cents count.
Forecast. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, if you want a sticker,
spare some
that's
change.
All you have to do.
Yep.
Long story short, just do what I just said.
Yep.
So
spare a sticker.
Cool. And thank you, love you.
Let's get the show on the road.
Let's just fucking get into it. Okay.
Sweet.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
Bink.
Is that cat hair on that?
I mean, maybe. Where?
It's probably my dog hair.
Oh my god.
Not my own that I have growing on me, but my dog's.
Food.
We're talking food today, and we're talking eating alkaline today. Do you know what that means? Do you know what do you remember that word?
I remember
know
that
the word alkaline.
Yeah. It's like a really expensive water. It's not.
It is.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Alkaline water. They make it an alkaline instead of, because the opposite of alkaline is acidic, and it's on the pH. Has to do with pH balances
totally
and stuff.
Knew that. I'm so smart.
So anyways, we're gonna go on an acid trip today. Okay,
sweet.
Magic school bus style. So
fucking let's load me up, Miss Frizzle. I'll be Arnold.
With the frizz? No, with the Briz?
With the Briz? Okay. You actually
cruising on down Main Street.
You would be a really good Miss Frizzle.
Dude,
I would totally be... No, you know what?
I basically am Miss Frizzle, right? I'm basically Miss Frizzle.
I would be Rhonda.
I'm 30-ish Miss Frizzle. You, Rhonda?
I could be Rhonda. The one with the... That's Rhonda, right? The one with the black hair. And she was like that fucking like... She was like a tomboy, but she also...
Rhonda?
She also embraced her femininity, and it was like... She was like, dude, Arnold, shut the fuck up. And, like, she like, but she could hang with, like, the boys. And, like, but she was, like, everyone, like, liked her. Okay.
Forgot about Rhonda.
Okay. I'm going to look it up, but you keep going.
Okay, so, studies have shown that disease and illness cannot take root in a body that has a balanced pH. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Hear that?
Did not know that.
You heard it here first, everyone. First time you heard it's here.
Get your nickel paper here. You heard it first.
And if you want to tag us, we'll send you a sticker. Okay. So
you gotta be good for the other like 35 cents, but it's fine.
One of the examples of the many findings of this is a man named Dr. Otto Warburg, who dedicated his life to researching cancer cells. And he won a Nobel Prize, which is, that's like no fucking joke.
Okay.
For proving that cancer cells cannot survive in an alkaline environment. So, what's the opposite of alkaline? Acidic. So, one of the primary factors that influence our body's pH are the kinds of foods that we eat. So, eating alkaline has a few different names. It's, there's the diets, different alkaline diets. I like to think of it as more of a guideline. But anyways, so some of these diets include the Alkaline Ash Diet. And I thought this was interesting because it's called the Ash Diet because the food that we eat leaves behind what scientists call ash. And that ash can either be acidic or alkaline. So I thought that was cool.
Okay.
Didn't realize it's like the metabolic waste or some shit that food leaves behind.
Weird.
It's called ash.
To think about.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? And it's just, it's just chilling. Anyway, so alkaline acid, it's called Alkaline Acid Diet, Acid Ash Diet, the pH diet, or from what I'm most familiar with and what the reason I know about the alkaline diet is from Dr. Sebi's alkaline diet. Do you know who Dr. Sebi is? Have you ever heard of him?
No.
He's a man, he was born in Honduras, and he's an herbalist who created a plant-based version of this diet, and by following his grandmother's teachings, and also he learned from an herbalist in Mexico, and he also had all these issues in his life that Western medicine couldn't help fix, and he's basically cured his own asthma, diabetes, impotence, and obesity with the principles of this diet, this alkaline way of life and diet. So
two very different things, but yes.
So it cures a lot of shit. It fucking
it's again
resets it can reset your whole body basically.
Again, food is an amazing thing.
It really is.
It really is. Also, by the way, her name was Wanda, not Rhonda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wanda.
Yes,
that was
Wanda.
it.
Anyway, go on.
So Dr. Sebi also claimed to have cured AIDS with his principles and methods, as well as things like herpes, and that was in Lisa Left Eye Lopez. He apparently cured her herpes with this diet. Shut up. Google the fuck out of that.
Oh, okay. But
as well as other things. She went when she was in. Remember when she went into
she was all crazy and then she got real zen. Yeah. He cured the crazy. He cured the crazy.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, she cured a lot of her illnesses with following his protocols.
Yeah.
As well as Michael Jackson, John Travolta.
Those two have turned out great.
Well, Michael Jackson went to him, and obviously it didn't really help him because he ended up having the help of his doctor. But he was employed by Michael Jackson to get him off his addictions to fucking all these medications that they were pumping him with.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it was ignorant.
But anyways, so it was even proven in a court of law on a few occasions that he has been able to cure these things. But People don't talk about this.
No, they don't.
I don't know if you know about the rapper Nipsey Hussle. He was murdered. Was that last year or 2 years ago? I should
look that up.
But he was actually, before he was murdered, doing a documentary on the case that Dr. Sebi had won and proven doing all these things. And there's actually some conspiracies around. That's maybe why he was murdered. Yeah, because he was trying to come out with this incredible knowledge.
I'm all about a good conspiracy.
And also Dr. Sebi has a very I need to do a whole episode on him, because the way he died, because he's dead, he died of pneumonia, even though he was like, I mean, anyways, who knows? But the way he died was very mysterious, I guess, and there's some weird conspiracies and theories about his death as well.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, because, I mean, can't be having people curing shit.
No.
Then there's no business to be had.
Fucking Red Cross is out to get you.
Yeah.
The big pharma.
Yeah. So,
which I completely believe that there's like that's the real mob right there.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just wanted to. Sorry about that little tangent. I just thought that was important. So back to food.
Very important.
So, eating an alkaline diet is intended to help balance the blood pH level of the fluids in your body, including your blood and your pee. Your urine.
Oh, my urine?
Your urine. So the pH of around 7 is neutral, if you remember that from science class.
I remember
everyone.
7, you put the little dipstick. Like
yeah.
you gotta get the dip tip.
Get your dipstick.
Get dipstick.
Put your dipstick in this.
Put the little dipstick, and it was like you wanted it to be like yellow, or you didn't want to be too red.
Like supposed to be blue or something.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it had to be right in the middle. Otherwise, your pH was real off.
Yeah, so we consider the healthiest pH to be one that's slightly alkaline, so one that's around 7.4 on this pH scale.
Okay.
So, yeah, more alkaline is higher on the scale. I forget what it goes to now. Fuck, I forget from my science class. What is it like?
I thought it was like 14.
It is 14. You're right. It is, because 7's neutral.
I was paying
Good job,
attention,
Shay.
Miss Diggin. Yeah.
And so 0 to 6 or
Garrison.
7 is acidic, and then above that is alkaline.
Okay.
So just for a more like macro look on how this kind of looks, due to the environmental concerns such as, increasing carbon dioxide deposition, the pH of the ocean has dropped from 8.2 to 8.1, and various life forms living in the ocean have suffered because of this pH shift, because that was like the threshold.
Do you remember learning about that in science class too? Like it's just like it can take just like one fucking decimal off, and it can really fuck up the entire ocean. Yeah, which is insane.
Which is what's happening.
Yeah.
So when our fluids are more acidic / we eat foods raising our acidity, illness and disease can thrive and have a heyday. And that's where they like to thrive, in an acidic environment. So this acidic environment in our bodies can cause lots of harm, including worsened back problems, headaches, menstrual problems, joint pains, cause cancer, cause fatigue, cause all sorts of fucking
just check down the list and mix up cancer. But yes.
Yeah. So, but food isn't the only villain in the story. It's not the villain. Food is actually...
It's kind of the villain.
The bad food is not...
It's like a sub-villain.
It's like a... I don't know why I wrote this fucking analogy. It's
but no, I get it. Like humans...
There's more than just one thing contributing to
but
this.
Like humans would be considered a villain to the ocean, but not all humans are bad.
Exactly.
See, I got the bridge, though.
Got it.
I got the bridge for you.
Thanks, Shay.
I'll throw you that lifeline. Let's cross that reading rainbow with me.
That lifesaver. Okay, I'll cross it.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's fine.
Either.
Just go ahead.
So not only is what you eat contributing to the acidity of your body, but so is all of this. Are you guys ready?
I'm totally ready.
Have your pen and paper ready?
Are you ready? Pop quiz at the end of this.
Are you ready to fucking figure out why your body is so acidic?
If you mail us in the answers correctly, then you'll get a sticker.
Yep, that's another way to get a sticker. So stress, lack of sufficient exercise, excessive consumption of red meat, exposure to radiation from phones and pollution,
no,
alcohol and drug use, high caffeine intake, antibiotic overuse, artificial sweeteners, chronic stress, declining nutrient levels due to industrial farming, low levels of fiber in the diet, lack of exercise, strenuous and over-exercise, excess animal meats in the diet, excess hormones from the food, health, beauty products, and plastics that are all fucking around us every day of our fucking lives, exposure to chemicals and radiation from household cleaners, building materials, computers, cell phones, and microwaves, food coloring, preservatives, over-exercise, pesticides and herbicides, pollution, poor chewing and eating habits, and processed and refined foods. Oh, and shallow breathing. So take a deep breath after that, shall we?
I'm just going to lick a tree for the rest of my life, and I'm going to call it good.
Perfect. You're going to live like a tree? Is that what you just said?
I'm going to go lick a tree for the rest of my life. And
hey,
just
I've been hanging out with
survive
some
on
trees
kale
lately, and that's not even a joke. DM if you want to know. I'm just kidding. Anyways.
What the fuck I'm talking about.
So that's why you want to keep it alkaline, because you're going to help all these things.
Because you have a lot of these other factors that you can't control. Yeah.
So if you are keeping it alkaline, it helps boost your immune functions. Obviously help with all those motherfucking things I just said.
Yeah.
Listed. And combined with the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects it has, following an alkaline diet can prevent cancer. It's been shown to help increase, and it also has been shown to help increase the effects of chemotherapy. So, like, if you are undergoing chemotherapy,
right,
you eat an alkaline diet, it's supposed to help. I don't know why I had to reiterate that, but you guys aren't stupid. So,
yeah.
All right, here we go. And alkaline foods supply important nutrients that help stop accelerated signs of aging and a gradual loss of organ and cellular functions. So it's just good all fucking around.
No shit.
So I have a couple of fun facts for y'all.
I like fun facts.
So the pH level is not only crucial for us being, alive and shit, but it's crucial for growing plants and in the soil. The pH level is very important for the soil. So it greatly affects the mineral content of the foods we eat as well. And when acidity rises, minerals fall. And go figure, nowadays our food has less minerals in it. So we're not getting the things that we used to get from our food that we're supposed to be getting from our food because it's fucking farmed the way that it is.
It's great.
So if you follow the agricultural revolution on top of mass industrialization of our food system over the last 200 years, the food we eat has significantly less potassium, magnesium, and chloride, along with more sodium as compared to what it used to be, causing a lot more harm. Also, I thought this was crazy. So the ratio of potassium to sodium in most people's diets, it's supposed to be like 10-1, like potassium to sodium.
Right.
But now the ratio is 1-3. So it's like
Jesus.
Ridiculous.
A little off.
It's a lot off. Hashtag the standard American diet. That's
Yay!
where we get most of our vegetables from, like corn and grains.
Donuts are part of the food pyramid, so it's fine.
If you get your vaccine, you get a free donut.
Perfect.
Fucking shoot me. Anyways.
Just come on down, all the Homer Simpsons. Jesus.
So this is also, this also has to do with how we farm, and how we farm depletes the soil of all its natural ecosystems and microbes and all that good stuff that also puts that good shit back into our food, which in turn balances the fucking soil, but we just have to put all this synthetic bullshit into it. It's so fucked up. Also, side note, watch the documentary Kiss the Ground on Netflix. It's narrated by Woody Harrelson, and it's great.
Okay, I need a good doc that's not about murder.
Yeah. So, anyways, milk is something you won't find on the alkaline diet, just so you know.
It's because it's gross.
And this is actually kind of because it's kind of a 30-ish problem, because as we grow older, we lose our digestive capacity, like that we do when we're young. And so
that makes sense though, because like
break down the shit as easily.
Right. So your body was like, dude,
when we're getting older.
Right. Like your body was like, we couldn't break it down before, but now we really can't break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to be fine with dairy products like in my 20s. And then it hit like late 20s, early 30s when I was like, am I always supposed to like, it's supposed to be like an emergency every time I need to go to the bathroom? Like, I don't think that that's correct, but like, okay, sure. So my body was just like, nope, shut her down. Like, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, we're done with this.
We're done.
Yeah. So also, the more whey and the older that milks are, the more they become acidic. So also the way we fucking have milk and produce milk, and it's like old and ultra pasteurized, ultra fucking homogenized, whatever the fuck. That's also making it even more acidic.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Isn't that fucked? There you go. So New York Times bestselling author and health expert Yuri Elkheim. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, sir. I know you're listening to this episode today.
Totally. He is.
He said whole milk becomes acid forming mainly when it's sterilized, homogenized, ultra pasteurized, and processed, as it becomes hard to metabolize the acid well. But if you're drinking like raw milk or like the shit that hasn't been heated and boiled and all the good shit out of it, it's not as bad for you.
Okay,
but we already knew that. But it's also not as acidic.
Right. So like, I've never had raw milk. What does that taste like?
Have
you ever had it?
I don't think I've ever really had like.
Okay, I'm just curious. I just don't know.
I've had raw milk cheese, but I've never. But I'm.
Do you taste a difference?
I think it's just maybe a little like grassier, like.
Oh,
maybe
it's just a little
like.
Just has like a different kind of taste to it.
Yeah,
it's
just
not
a little bit, I would think.
Because it's all they eat is
creamy,
fucking
though.
grass.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I'm just curious.
I mean, that's what I haven't had raw milk, but I really want to get some.
I don't know.
There's a place in Fort Collins that has it. I don't know where it is though.
Is it the dairy? What is it called? The morning dairy. Blah blah blah.
I don't think they have raw milk.
Oh.
They do have milk. They live like down the street from me in LaPorte.
That's cute. That's cute.
But anyway, so fresh butter, if eaten raw and not like, pasteurized and shit, is alkalizing. So not like Land O'Lakes. Can't be getting that.
But if I get the one with the olive oil, it's fine.
No. So egg yolk itself, if eaten alone, is alkalizing. But not the whole elk. Not
the whole yolk?
Elk?
The whole elk.
But not the whole egg.
You know how the
yolk.
elk that
not
you get
the whole
in
egg.
the yolk, there's a tiny elk inside.
And it says, hello.
Alkaline. Alkaline.
Alkaline.
Yes.
There's a joke in there.
There it is.
What's a deer's favorite diet? An alkaline, but it's not because deers aren't elk, so.
You're dumb.
What's a bugler's favorite? Because elks bugle?
Oh, God, Jesus.
Never mind, guys. Here we go. So let's talk about what foods are alkaline. First of all, absolutely no fucking GMO is ever alkaline, because if you're fucking with if you're fucking with the genes of something, you're fucking up the chemical like compounds inside of it and the energy of it, the electrical like fucking everything has electrical properties, and you're fucking with that when you're GMOing some shit. GMOing, it's a verb. So alkaline food is straight from Mother Nature only, okay? And Dr. Sebi even goes to say that seedless fruit is the only fruit, like the only kind of seedless fruit isn't natural. So like he doesn't even think broccoli. Like, he doesn't even think like a broccoli, you should eat broccoli or something on your diet. His so is a lot stricter.
So vegetables.
Wait, like well, maybe I'm lying. I'm sorry.
I was like,
seedless fruits. So fruits that don't have seeds. So like, but like cherry.
I'm trying to think of what doesn't have a seed. I guess, I mean, a cherry has a pit, but would you consider that a seed?
I think that he doesn't like those.
But like, what does he say? Seedless, like that are engineered that way, or just like I can eat an apple because it has seeds. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So theoretically, I can have cherries that have pits in them, not the depitted ones.
I guess maybe. I'm sorry, guys.
So don't have
You're
like a
gonna have to
watermelon.
not quote me on that. No,
But
watermelon is good.
Right. But just
Obviously.
don't get the seedless ones.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
So
Or,
just
like,
don't get the
seedless
ones because all
grapes.
those ones have been engineered
Okay,
to.
yeah, that's what he's saying.
I got you. Again, that Rainbow Bridge.
Also, he has no animal products, but I'm going to tell you about what Dr. Axe says. If you guys know about Dr. Axe.
I don't. Is it like a different kind of Dr. Oz? But he doesn't.
He is, but
degrade
he's
you?
better. And he's super fucking, like, amazing health nutrition. He owns Ancient Nutrition.
Oh, okay.
That
I know
company.
what you're talking about, yeah.
They have, like, all sorts of supplements and all
They're
sorts
like,
of
have
stuff.
all these ancient grains.
Yeah, all sorts of things.
I was like, okay, whatever, sir.
But yeah, and Dr. Sebi also says that he thinks that there's only one disease, and it's caused by eating acidic foods, and that one disease is basically what stems all these other fucking diseases. But it's only one disease.
What is that one disease called? Like,
I don't know. He just thinks it all comes from the same thing, and it all comes from eating acidic food. He thinks
so. There's only one disease inside like the entire world.
That's what he.
But then it has all like these subroots of things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's an interesting theory. Okay.
Because he's proven with countless, not customers, patients that.
But that sucks though. Could it be like.
Yeah, I know it does. But they all stem from this one problem of all this acidity in our diets and all this bullshit in our fucking environments. Is basically what he's saying. It's
I get
there's
that.
only one disease.
But that'd be amazing if
like
he was
a cold,
he was a doctor. Like, what's wrong with me, doc? Yeah, it's acidic mangus. Like this entire every single person, like that'll be $120. You can pay your copay there. Thank you. Like that'd be amazing.
Not like that. That also, I guess, kind of stems from one main problem, I guess.
Fair enough.
Okay, so anyways, what does Dr. Axe say about what alkaline foods are? So, fresh fruits and vegetables. The main best alkaline fruits and vegetables to eat are mushrooms, citrus, dates, raisins, spinach, grapefruit, tomatoes, avocado, summer black radish, alfalfa grass, barley grass, cucumber, kale, jicama, wheatgrass, broccoli. He likes broccoli. Oregano, garlic, ginger, green beans, endive, cabbage, celery, red beets, watermelon, figs, and ripe bananas. All raw foods. So ideally try to consume a good portion of your produce raw. And uncooked fruits and vegetables are said to be biogenetic or life-giving.
Right.
And cooking foods depletes the alkalizing materials inside of them. So
I have heard that.
And lightly steaming and juicing your fruits and vegetables is really good. Plant proteins such as almonds, navy beans, lima beans, and most other beans are good choices. Like Dr. Sebi says, walnuts and peanuts are not good for you because they are high acidity. But Dr. Axe says, like, yes, there are some things that are like high acidic, but all the other good parts about the actual thing, like a walnut or like eggs, for example, like they have a lot better things in them that overweigh the
that makes sense.
The bad acidity of it.
Right.
So greens, guys, we got to eat our fucking greens. How many times do I have to tell you?
But the only raw green that I can eat are like is like lettuce. I can't like, have you ever, like, when you get that fucking vegetable tray and you're like, okay, I'm gonna eat these carrots and okay, I can maybe pop a cherry tomato, but like that fucking nasty thing of like raw cauliflower and fucking broccoli.
Oh, girl.
Dude, raw though?
Yeah. Celery. You don't like celery?
Celery is different than broccoli. Like uncooked
it.
broccoli. That's what dinosaurs eat.
Well, I'm a dinosaur, so.
Yeah. Can you eat those?
Broccoli?
Like, not raw? Not cooked, but raw.
Yeah. Yeah, girl. I snack on that shit all the time when I'm cutting it up.
Molars of a champion, then.
What? Because I was
Champion
taken out
molars.
years ago.
You have these are your molars.
Oh, okay.
That's your wisdom teeth.
I feel like I had to get molars pulled.
I have had molars pulled, but they were probably your baby molars.
Okay.
Unless you're missing teeth. Are you missing teeth?
Maybe. Anyways, so Other foods on our alkaline list. Yeah, so basically anything with fucking chlorophyll, eat it.
Okay.
All the time, as much as you want. And chlorophyll is structurally similar to our own blood. And it helps alkalize our blood.
It's like we're made out of plants. Like we need them to breathe and shit.
Look at us witches fucking celebrating chlorophyll in our blood.
Hashtag science.
But we're not going to put them in our shoes.
No, don't do that.
Because that is some evil fucking shit. I don't care what the fuck you say.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What?
What?
Talking about Lil Nas X's goddamn Satan shoes that have human blood inside of them.
Well, we talked about that and like...
That is...
You guys.
Okay, I don't care what, like, okay, great, your song's cool, your music video's dope, whatever, you're like...
I don't even know who he is, so...
Anyways, well, these people who, if anyone's listening that understands what I'm talking about, the pop culture that was last week of Lil Nas X...
Right, his shoes.
Demon shoes
that you showed me, and I was like, oh, but that's like all of our shoes, because they're all like made by these tiny little... slave children, and they all have blood in them.
Yeah, which is another fucking like,
and I don't mean to say that lightly. Like, I'm just like, oh yeah, no, like all of my Blowfish fucking Malibu shoes have totally like just baby blood all over them. Yeah. I don't mean to say it like that, but like, true.
Yeah, shit's fucked.
Hashtag sponsor us.
Yeah, which is even more of a fucked up. It's just shit is just
it's fucked.
We gotta spread the light and the love, y'all.
Yeah.
And again, remember, the aliens are here to help.
Just send a lifeline out to those motherfuckers. It's
what if
fine.
They're not?
They are.
I'm just kidding.
You know they are.
What? Like, just, like, why would they wait till after the pandemic to attack? Like,
right?
They would have decimated us
100%
years ago.
They would have totally gotten us.
The plague. They would be like, you guys just need some help. We'll just knock you out.
They're clearly taking out the superior species, which are the cows, and that's why they're mutilating them, because they're just like, you guys, we're doing you a favor from the massive cow uprising that's going to be from 2024. So just sit back and relax and just thank us later.
They're rapturing them.
100%.
Really
like
happening.
that's who the intelligent species is. Clearly.
Oh my God. Shay, you know that the cattle mutilation's just a cover up.
It's totally just a cover up. I know, because I'm an alien. Boom.
Me and Chris tried to watch the X-Files the other day, but then we ended up watching something else. But anyways,
I was actually just talking to my aunt about that. I'm like, God,
it was a little too cheesy.
There isn't like a show like the X-Files out like anymore. Mm-mm. And if you watch the new X-Files, it's fucking garbage compared to what it was before. Because it's one of a kind. It is. And like, yes, you do the very early X-File ones, it's super cheesy, but do like mid-90s. It's pretty good. Okay. It's good.
Well, I'm almost done
with
this.
But before David Duchovny left. Because fuck that shit.
Oof.
Anyway, go on.
We don't do anything without David Duchovny.
He was a handsome boy, man. And Fox Mulder? Like, come on.
Yeah, she's a fox. What is that show she's in?
I'm talking about Mulder.
Oh,
I'm talking about David Duchovny. Gillian Anderson?
Oh, I thought you were talking about him, and then I thought you were talking about Scully.
No,
I was like, yeah,
she was a gorgeous lady. She was a gorgeous lady. She still is. She's in that exactly
show. What is that show she's on Netflix? And it's about the little kid, and he does sex ed, and it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, I've not watched that yet.
So good.
Yeah.
She's like what? 55,
she has not
60?
Aged a fucking day.
No, she's in her 50s.
No, apparently she's just the best.
She is. Other foods to eat on an alkaline diet include sprouts, wheatgrass, kamut, which is a type of really healthy grain, and I think it's an ancient grain.
Okay.
Fermented soy like natto or tempeh. Legit misos are also, and when I say legit miso, a lot of the miso you can buy in the store is not legit because it's not made with what's called koji, or like it's not really like actually fermented, and that's what makes it okay and healthy to eat. And so you should look for that koji.
I'm gonna look for that koji, girl.
And then also seeds are really good to eat too. So
I don't like pumpkin seeds, and they're only roasted. I don't like those.
That's fine. You can roast them.
Is that not bad? You just told me cooking is
bad.
I
mean, it's not the worst.
Okay, that's fair.
It's better to eat it roasted than to not eat it at all. So
coated in sugar, and then
you put
then you put in ice cream, and it's like, it's better just to eat it than not at all.
Exactly. So, like I said, some foods are on a highly acidic list, but they're actually, they are good for you because they contain other health benefits that are, outweigh the other stuff. So just remember that, and the bottom line is just keep a healthy balance of the foods you're eating.
Okay.
And as far as your pH is concerned, it is actually possible to become too alkaline. So don't get too crazy, I guess, okay?
That's fair.
And our problem is not really taking in enough alkaline. It's just eating way too much acidic foods, like processed foods, like bullshit. So, like, cut that shit out of your life that's, like, super acidic. Don't worry, and you'll be good. Eat your whole foods, and, don't eat too acidic and don't eat fucking Doritos every day.
I mean,
Brianna.
It's real hard. But sometimes when you get those burritos and the Doritos Crunchwrap Supreme, like, you can't pass that shit up.
That sounds delicious.
We could stop and put a pause and get one of those right now.
Oh my God, we could.
We could.
So eat a variety of real whole foods, especially vegetables and fruit, and limit your consumption of packaged items. You'll be on your way to success and health.
The key to freedom.
Exactly.
Boom.
The key to success,
love
DJ
it.
Khaled. Bwah, bwah.
Oh, you got to win-win-win. No matter what. Just got to eat that bush. No matter what. Doesn't matter.
Shay, you got to do whatever calls to you.
You just got to do what you got to do.
You do.
Sometimes it's all what's left in your fucking arsenal.
And I guess, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
All right, anyways, should we talk about some crime?
Yeah. Always.
Now that we know how to alkalize our bodies to get ready for this fucking murder.
Oh, you're
about to talk to us about? All right, let's take a deep breath. No short, shallow breaths in here. And here we go.
Let's try this again. Here you go. Let the black lung pop. All right.
I'm ready now.
Are you ready? You take a deep breath. No shallow lungs in this joint? Nope. Okay. Cool.
No Roni in these lungs.
Yeah, so I manifested that last dice roll, and I got me some crime.
Yes, she did.
So I'm going to be talking about the story of Jens Soering.
Oh.
Yeah, have you ever heard of him? It was a Netflix doc for a minute.
No.
Well, actually,
I was trying to make a really dumb joke about soaring, but
you don't
not.
want to. No. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Okay.
Yep. We went past that one.
It's on. It's actually on Hulu now, so you should go check it out. It's called Killing for Love.
Oh.
Yeah. So
great. I
so
can't wait to hear about this.
Just to reiterate that there is going to be murder in this, and you don't have to just hold your breath at the very end because you're just like, I was really quiet because I thought the murder was going to happen, and then it didn't happen, which is totally fair because that was very out of my character.
It was.
Did you get a little cold? Did you get a little bursty?
I did. I did. I had to
put on her wrap.
I had to feel safe.
She had to feel safe for this because you're going to want to feel safe for this. Okay.
Great.
Here we go. Okay, so...
you better watch me walk to my car tonight.
Oh, I'm gonna. Well, it's okay. Well, kind of not. So, anyway, we'll get into that. Okay, so we're going to jump right in here. So, Jens Soering was brought by his parents to the United States at the age of 11 from Germany. In 1984, he was an 18-year-old honor student at the University of Virginia, where he became good friends with Elizabeth Haysom, a Canadian national 2 years his elder. So, two star-crossed lovers, if you will. Oh, opposites in the world. They're going to unite. It's going to be amazing. Stupid. Okay. Perfect. Anyway, so a little bit about Jens. He was described as
Jens?
Jens, because he's German. So his father was a German diplomat. So he actually was born in Thailand, but again, his parents were like diplomats, so they kind of traveled all over the world and everything else. So, but he's a German national. So Jens, Jens. I'm sure there's a very German accent, but I will not even attempt to do that because it will be, what's
Lost?
the word? Butchered and or can't even think of the word. It's just awful. It'll just be awful.
Okay,
anyway,
perfect.
so a little bit about Jens. He was described as small and squirrely. Which I will send you pictures of this guy, and you're just like, what the fuck?
This is literally what he is.
Right. And the woman, and Elizabeth is like this beautiful, like, she's striking. She's very striking. So anyway, so Jens was described by his classmates as off-putting, and he was arrogant, and he was a supporter of Nazis. Perfect. So just clearly boyfriend material, right? Yeah. So Elizabeth, on the other hand, she was born in South Africa and apparently demanded a shit ton of fucking attention, like all the attention. She wasn't an only child, but she was like her next sibling up was, I think, like 10 years her senior. So she technically wasn't like an only child.
Yeah.
So anyway, her parents gave her like the best of the best, and like that included her education. So they sent her to to boarding school, like it's called Wycombe Abbey, which was a boarding school just an hour northwest of London. And if you ever watch the documentary Killing for Love, and that first kind of like the interviews or trial that you see her at, she had like this ridiculous accent where it's just like very prim and proper, like she was like to make herself unassuming, like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, sir, and I won't even attempt to do the accent because again, I'm not good at accents, so I'm not gonna even try it. But yeah, so she just made herself like this, like a very like goody, like a Mary Poppins kind of way. Like she almost sounded like, do you remember like what Aubrey Hepburn sounded like? Do you remember?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so she kind of sounded like that. So I don't know if it's because her upbringing where she was kind of bouncing around so many places that she kind of developed this accent, but anyway.
Okay.
So, but she sounds unassuming. So,
like a damsel in distress.
100%. So, yeah, so she was in London. So she claimed to resent her parents due to the fact that they put ridiculous standards upon her, just typical teenage shit. But like, I guess in all actuality, she, like, they put her in classes like those, like AP science, AP math, all of those things. Like she was learning all about the fucking alkalines and like pH balances. Like but she actually excelled in the arts. So she was flunking out of the AP science and whatever classes because they put her in those classes because her father was like, oh no, you're just gonna be a diplomat. You're gonna be a fucking engineer and all these things. She's like, I don't want it. She's like, you're doing that. She's like, I don't want to do that. And she's like, they're like, you're doing it. So she was essentially flunking out of those classes. So she was becoming very, very resentful of them because she was just, again, not getting ahead anywhere in her life. Anyway, so she starts to get into trouble, as you do when you're getting frustrated with your parents. And even though she was like, later she was like Ross when she was like, I was tricked into all those things. Like she was getting into trouble, but she was like, but later on she's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like I was fucking, she actually said like she was framed. Like she was a wackadoo. So anyway, so a few girls at this abbey were caught with drugs, and per Elizabeth blamed her because they knew school officials would believe the foreign girl, quote unquote, did it. As part of her punishment, dead serious, Elizabeth was prohibited from using the telephone, and as such was out of touch with her parents for several days. She later claimed that that's what led her to run away from school for almost 5 months.
Damn.
So she's like, I couldn't talk to you, Mom, for like that weekend. So I had to go. I had to run away. Right. And so this had to be like, this was like probably like late 70s, way early 80s. So anyway, so she did return to Wycombe Alley. Alley wasn't an alley. Abbey. Apparently she just got like way more emo. So I'm sure her and I would have been friends. We're like, which one of the Fall Out Boys?
Spirits.
Which one of the Fall Out Boys do you like? I like Pete. Whatever. Anyway.
Pete Wentz?
Yes.
I knew him.
Did you know him?
It's the only one I knew.
That's fair.
Because he was the only hot one.
That's also very fair. No offense.
No offense, other ones.
The ones that are listening.
They're listening. They're 30-ish.
They are 30-ish. Anyway.
Did you see Lady Gaga just turned 35?
Did she? She's our age?
She is.
I didn't know she was our age.
She is.
Fuck.
Literally yesterday was her birthday.
We should invite her on the show. I'm dead serious.
A star would be born that day.
It would be born. 2 stars.
2 stars.
2 falling craters just careening toward the earth.
2 comets shooting into the galaxies, Shay.
That's right. Positivity.
Baby, you're a firework.
So we should invite Katy Perry and not...
Oh, fuck. I have been watching American Idol, and
It's been really good this year, right?
Yeah, and I love them as
shocked?
judges. I was not a fan of American Idol until...
No. Did you watch last night's?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're catching up.
I was super shocked about who they sent home, so let me know what your thoughts are. Anyway.
Oh my god. So emotional. I cry like at least 3 times an episode.
They make it all about that, and you're just like,
oh my god, the human spirit is so beautiful and lovely.
it's true. It's not edited that way at all.
They don't try to pull at our heartstrings in any way.
Yeah. So anyway, long story where we're at. She would be my best friend. Okay. So another thing,
Lady Gaga.
Yes, her too. I would be her dog walker any day. I would take a bullet for you. Another thing,
Bridget's dog.
It's true.
Can I just take the bullets for you? Can I have that job?
Can I have that job?
I will have it. I'll just walk around and take any bullets that would ever come near you.
And I'll be comfortable for the rest of my life. It'll be fine. Unless I actually got bullets in me. So.
Unless I got bulleted.
Good. The bulletproof. It's a different kind of bulletproof. Okay, so
What's that song?
The bulletproof song?
I was just like, baby, you are bulletproof. But it's
just
like
combining
what's
songs.
that bulletproof song?
Yeah.
It was like, I'm bulletproof.
I'm not gonna try and harmonize with you on there. And it's like called. It's her name's like L.A. like
LaRue.
Yes. That was pretty close though, because I was trying to do it, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that right, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and not say things into the
I'm
microphone.
not doing it right.
You were pretty close. Anyway, okay, so sorry. It's fine. So yeah. So anyway, there's another thing you need to know about Elizabeth. She likes to spin some tall tales. So at one point, she had claimed that she raped. She didn't rape. She didn't rape anybody. Holy shit. Okay, sorry. Pause. Rape isn't funny, but also stuff coming out of Brie's mouth is. She didn't rape anybody.
Almost. She claimed I was like, what? And I was almost spit my fucking drink out on Shay's face.
Tall tales. Like, she raped all these people. No, she didn't rape anybody. But she claimed but I did write it as like she raped, but that was incorrect. Okay. She claimed that she had been raped at 10 years old at her school in Switzerland, and her parents chose to ignore the incident. And another time she was physically attacked by like a teen boy at her school in Nova Scotia because of her father's job, and her 2 front teeth were knocked out. So, but the reality was she wasn't raped. It actually was a charge of indecent exposure, which was still shitty, but a far cry from rape. The physical attack that she claimed knocked out her teeth because a boy bashed her face against a brick wall. She actually only had like a very small scar on her chin from that incident, and like still had her natural 2 front teeth. So like it obviously wasn't true. But then all I could think about like was Dennis the Menace when he replaced Mr. Wilson's teeth.
Chiclets.
And I'm like, check her mouth for chiclets, and then you'll know the truth. Like that's what would have happened back then. Anyway, so
that is my favorite movie.
It's a good one. I think you swallowed it. During her last year at Wickham, Elizabeth began experimenting with drugs and her sexuality. That age-old chestnut. I got the funny one.
I liked that. I like that you said chestnut.
Chestnut. That age-old chestnut. But it was. So, so she did both quite openly, which was a big no-no. Especially, like, back, like...
She opened the chestnut.
She opened that chestnut wide. Like, wide open. And all of her chestnut.
She spread-eagled her chestnut.
Yeah. And all that chestnut got exposed and scraped.
Woo! Yikes!
It was an intense time. It was a wild time. It was the best of times, I think, for somebody.
It was the worst of times.
I think for her, probably. But yeah, so, but like, in 1983, which is that's at this point in time, it was still, like, a big taboo, and it was, a sense, grounds for expulsion, which is what exactly happened. Not just, like, the drug use, but the actual, like, homosexuality. Like, she was kicked out of school.
Damn.
So, Elizabeth...
What years are these?
1983. At this point, this was 1983. So, Elizabeth was told she was going to have to leave...
Not very long ago, 30-ish.
No. So she was... she had to, like, return to her parents to Canada. But she decided to head out on her own. With her lady.
The lover.
Yes, with her lover. So from July until October, the two girls survived by taking odd jobs, stealing food when possible, sleeping in strangers' apartments and homes, selling their blood, and prostituting themselves. So just selling every ounce of their body. Not just their vaginas, but also their fluids.
I mean, I guess people sell their blood
all of their pHs.
All the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Just selling their pHs left and right. So,
yeah, better make sure that ain't acidic. Giving it to some fucking people.
In 83, it would have been okay, I think.
We probably
just stay away from the Hostess
We
products.
were on the cusp.
You were on the cusp. They were okay.
They were really ramping up the pesticides. Oh, 83 was pesticides were like, all right, let's use whatever the fuck we want.
That's right. There was no regulation.
Like DDT and 100%,
shit. 100%. Like, so they were getting
all sorts of shit in their fucking transfusions.
It was way off then. Woo. Way off. It's like Samsonite back then. 100%. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now that shit's just in our water. It's fine.
It doesn't even matter.
Anyway.
Just get a Brita filter. You'll be fine. Yeah. So anyway, so they were doing all that. And then as they traveled through France, Italy, and Germany. But having enough, they drive themselves back to the British consulate to ask for train tickets back to Britain, which is kind of interesting to me that they can just like go to like essentially what is like the equivalent of an embassy is and be like, yeah, we're all done, like, hooking and, like, fucking, you know, whatever else. So, can we go back home for free? And they're like, yeah, here you go. And they went home. And there was no other mention, like, from my research from, like, what happened to that girlfriend. But she just went back home to Canada. So, right. Anyway, it's like...
Peace, bitch.
Right? Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye. It's been real. So she goes back to Canada, and then they're just like, we need her to just get, like, a fresh start in her life. It's going to be fine. She needs one more do-over. It'll be great. So they moved to Virginia. So she enrolls, this is 1984, and so she enrolls into the University of Virginia. And, yeah, so then we jump to December of 1984, and that's where she meets Jens. They start like a pretty intense relationship from like just the get-go. Like bonding over like their snootiness over like how shitty like Americans are and blah 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 blah.
Well,
and the resentment of their family. I mean, just love at first sight, clearly.
Just trauma bonding.
Oh, totally. So there wasn't a lot of info what Yen's family did to him that made him like a little angry ball. But maybe he just wanted his dick touched. I don't know. And just was like, oh yeah, no, my family sucks too. So Elizabeth spent hours talking to him about how she was assaulted and her parents seemed to like not care. And that she was like sent to just different boarding schools because they didn't give a fuck about her and blah, 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 blah. Just super angsty bullshit. And she...
Wah, wah, wah.
100%. So she told him about running away a couple of times and, like, her expulsion from the abbey. And Jens, in turn, would talk about, like, his wealthy maternal grandmother who refused to give her daughter, Jens's mother, money to divorce his strict father, money to, like, which he believed that his mother was rightfully entitled to a portion. So it really was just, like, these people just spoiled little fucking brats that were just like, my life
Bonding
sucks,
over
boo.
how bad their lives were.
100%. And he was probably getting his wiener touched, and he was just like, I'm so happy.
How sad are you?
I'm not that sad anymore. Yeah. So anyway, so blah blah blah. So here's like kind of where things get a little weird. So Elizabeth told him about one afternoon that after she moved home with her parents, that Nancy, her mom, forced her to strip and assume strange poses while she photographed her.
The mom made her do that?
The mom. This is according to Elizabeth. According to Elizabeth, it wasn't the first time that
exaggerate.
Right. So that this had not been the first time that she had been used, quote unquote. When Jens asked her how she was able to live with such abuse, Elizabeth just said, I just learned to cope with it. I mean, I would have to say, like, she must have, like, a magical vagina. So I'm just assuming, like, this is, like, why he believed anything that came out of her mouth. But I also found out that he was a virgin before he met Elizabeth. So no wonder he like, believed anything that came out of her mouth, because he was just like, I'm so happy. But anyway, so he was clearly, when she would, like, say all these things to him, he was clearly furious at the news, and he was like, I'm gonna be her little Lancelot, her little knight in shining armor, right? I'm gonna be her only fucking protector. Anyway, she eventually introduces him to her parents, and her parents were less than impressed and encouraged her to meet other boys. But she was like, no, Mom, you don't even understand our love. And honestly,
I wish you guys could have seen Shay's face when she said that. It's very dramatic.
It was very dramatic. I missed my calling. No, I did not.
It's right here.
It's right here. Right here.
Right now.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's only catapulting you towards
it is to my voice fucking
destinies.
Career. Yeah. So she, again, like, at the base root of it, she just really believed that it was one more thing that her parents were trying to control, was this relationship with her and Jens. So at least that's what Jens, squirrely fucking Nazi Jens. Yes. Fucking, you can't control our love. So also she tells Jens all about how her parents hate him, which also obviously pisses him off further. It's just like, just to rub salt in the wound. So April 3rd rolls around. This is 1985. It's the year I was. So this is actually literally how I found this case. I think I watched a doc on it, like, maybe years ago, but I was like, I didn't know what to look up for a crime, because I didn't want to be like, I don't know. I just wanted to find something different. So I was like, all right, crimes when I was born, like 1985. And this is what popped up. So anyway, so it's April 3rd, 1985. And Elizabeth calls Nancy's friend, her mom's friend, and expresses concern that she hasn't talked to her parents in a few days, and if she could go check on them. The friend finds this horrific scene. She found the two bodies sprawled out on the floor in pools of blood, throats cut nearly to the backbone. So they were pretty much
two bodies?
Like two bodies, which I'll tell you who they are. They were, like, obviously Nancy and the husband, which his name was, well, actually I didn't write down his first name. I wrote down Mr. Haysom. But anyway, so they found, she found the two of them, like, sprawled out in puddles of blood, essentially. And they both were, like, pretty much almost decapitated. And Mr. Haysom was stabbed additionally 36 times, and Nancy was stabbed 6 or 7 more times. One detective described the scene as a slaughterhouse. They did find a bloody footprint at the crime scene that was made by what they described as a woman or a small man or boy. And they also found a bloody sneaker. So, anyway. This is, again, like, it doesn't get weird, but it gets, like, just, again, a little clouded. So It's just, again, up in the air. So one story goes like this. Elizabeth confesses to Jens right after the murders that she killed her parents while under the influence of drugs. She expressed a great fear of being executed by Old Sparky, the electric chair. And
I was like, did I miss a character name?
Have you not heard that before?
No.
You have never heard of it? Oh, that's because
my nickname in volleyball was Sparky.
Oh, wow. No, that's, maybe I just watch too much crime shit. They used to call the electric chair Old Sparky. So, like, if you ever watch...
Sick.
It's so funny. Okay, it's not funny. But, okay, so there's a documentary on Arlene Warlos. And there's this old grandma. She must be, like, 95 years old. And she's like, I hope that she goes to Old Sparky. And then she, like, pauses and, like, looks at whoever, like, she's, like, is interviewing her. And she's like, you know who Old Sparky is? The electric, like, she's a fucking, like, man. So she's like, it's the electric chair. Like, she's, like, fucking this little old grandma with her, like, little white fucking fro and her big old, like, bottle, like, nose glasses. And just, like, she's got to go to Old Sparky. You know who Old Sparky is. I was like, oh, my God. So
I see it.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking hilarious.
That's so funny.
Old Sparky. So anyway, so she's afraid she's gonna go to the electric chair. Yeah. So Jens promises to take the rap essentially for her, if they get arrested. Jens' father's a mid-level German counselor official, council official. So Jens leaves he's protected by, like, a form of diplomatic immunity that limits his punishment to 10 years in a German youth prison. So, because essentially he was 19, I think, at the time of the crimes. So he just thought, like, he could, like, just get off, essentially, like, babe, don't worry. Babe, I got you. Like, I will just go admit it. I'll get extradited back home. They can't touch me. And then I'll save you from, like, the spectacle of, like, an American trial. And then I'll just go, because he would do anything for this fucking pussy.
Yeah, apparently.
Do anything for this fucking vagina. And she...
Pussy on a pedestal, mother... Goddamn.
Like, 100... He is, like, if you looked at the very first definition of it, you would find Jens. Poor Jens. And he was like, I'll go... And he said it in an interview. He said, like, my 10 years was worth, like, her... like, living a full life, and then I would get out, essentially, and we would be together. That's what he believed that would happen.
She was like, bye, Felicia.
Oh, just you wait. So he said that to her, and at least this is one story. So for the rest of the night, Elizabeth and Jens, like, rehearsed his false confession. So, again, that's one story. And with that story, there's no premeditation, right? So, like, if that story is true, then she essentially went over there. She was on drugs. It wasn't like she went over there and she was, like, intending to kill her fucking parents. And, like, she just got high.
Whatever, yeah.
Or whatever. So,
okay, but that's not, like, a normal thing you do and you just, get high.
I'm not, like,
no, I know.
condoning it, but, like, no, you know, like,
I know.
You know what, I'm gonna get high and I'm gonna fucking, like, slit my parents' throat almost, like, down to the fucking backbone.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that. So this next story is, like, being, like, this was actually part of his actual confession, which, again, we'll get to. Well, this is his actual confession. They do eventually get caught, and I will tell you, it's a little bit jumbled, but it's fine. Okay, so per Jens, he states Elizabeth and Jens drove a rental car to Washington, D.C. on that Friday night. Discussed killing her parents. He decided to drive to Lynchburg and confront her parents, because the big thing was, again, like what we discussed, like, before, like, his parents or her parents did not like him at all. Like, you can date better. There's plenty of fish there's plenty of dicks in the sea. And,
plenty of yins in the sea.
Plenty of yins in the seas. So he drove the rental car there on Saturday night. He had a knife with him. He did not decide to kill the Haysoms at that time. He just wanted to talk to them and convince them to keep seeing, let him keep seeing their daughter.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah. So because, again, that was just a big issue. Anyway, he gets there, knocks on the front door. It's answered by Mr. Haysom. He invites Jens inside. Elizabeth stayed in Washington to set an alibi in case trouble happened. If you're not setting an alibi in case something were... Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But whatever. Yeah. But this is all per his confession. Anyway, sorry. Skip that. Okay. So Jens entered the front door. Mr. Haysom served Jens 1 or 2 stiff drinks, he says. Mrs. Haysom came down from upstairs, argued with Mr. Haysom about her painting. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay. She was an artist, so I don't know. They just got rowdy and drunk and like, it looks like a deer, Robert. So I don't know. Both were drinking heavily. Somehow the argument shifted to the relationship with Elizabeth and Jens, and Jens claims he tried to leave. Quote, I got it from my chair and tried to walk behind Mr. Haysom. He pushed me back and I was slammed against the dining room wall. Hit my head against the wall. Do not remember how many drinks I had before I tried to leave. I did not drink much. Did not hold my liquor well. After hitting the wall, I pulled out my knife and cut Mr. Haysom across the throat. Across his jugular vein. He grabbed his throat and yelled, God, you must be crazy, man. Blood rushed from his throat and I froze. He continues, quote, just wanted to get out of there. Heard Mrs. Haysom yelling. She was coming at me with a knife, waving it at me. I got the knife away from her, grabbed her and held her as a shield. Mr. Haysom got up from his chair, came at me, used Mrs. Haysom as a shield. My glasses were knocked off in this fight. Slashed Mrs. Haysom across the throat. She went towards the kitchen. Mr. Haysom hit me on the head. Don't remember anymore.
He said that the husband slit her throat?
No. He was like using Mrs. Haysom as a shield, and then he cut her throat. Oh, and then he was just essentially coming at So in the fight, that his glasses got knocked off.
Not my glasses.
Not my glasses. So then he gets in the car to leave and takes the tablecloth and clothes to the dumpster and adds that he hit a small dog on the way. I don't know why. I guess maybe.
By the way, I hit someone's dog.
I hit someone's dog.
So
you should go clean that up.
Gonna need to go tell someone about that.
100%. So he hit somebody's dog on the way. I don't know if he's like, he wanted to add like a small detail in there, but I don't know. Anyway, so...
He was trying to pull at their heartstrings.
I guess so. Jesus. He then claims he meets Elizabeth back in the movie theater in D.C. and she was like, oh my God. And then... and it's not funny.
Fucking romance.
Yeah. Like, this is exactly what he was like saying to the police. And then he said he went back to go clean everything up and left that bloody footprint on the floor. Then they fled to Europe in October, so 6 months after the murders happened. So this is all like his confession. So in April of 1986 is when they were captured.
6 months after
the murders happened, yeah. So no, I'm sorry. They fled to Europe in October, 6 months after the murders happened, and they weren't caught, and then again until April. So like a year after the murders almost happened is when they were caught.
How did they not get caught in the 6 months?
Because they were just dicking around in Europe. You mean before?
Before they even went to Europe.
Because they claimed like it was just because an investigation.
Because they didn't have
they didn't have any evidence. They just like they were like, ugh. Elizabeth was like, hey, you should go check on my parents that I haven't heard from, but I don't really ever talk to, so that's cool. Will you go check on them? And then the woman was like, oh, they're all dead. And she was like, oh my God. And then so there was a big ongoing investigation. So when I think the investigators were closing in, they're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. So they bolted and they were just, again, traveling all over Europe. And they were apparently using drugs and all this kind of shit. And heroin was her drug of choice.
Hell yeah.
And then in April of 1986, Elizabeth and Jens were arrested in London on check fraud, which to me is like a very 30-ish crime, because it's like I don't think a lot of people would understand that. Hashtag 30-ish. So
that's a check.
It's a check. Is that like a thing that you do after you like do a good thing?
Like in a box?
Like at a to-do list? No.
Like on your iPhone?
That's what you do, right? Like you like click it and then there's a check there. So here's the thing about Jens's confession. He gets several major details wrong, including the clothing of the victim and the location of the other victim. So all that's going on, like he's confessing in another booth. So all that, when I just said that whole confession, that all happened when he got caught in London. So all that's going on, him confessing, like, and the police are talking to, like, so in the, I'm sorry, so all that's happening, and the police are also talking to Elizabeth at the same time. And they were like, you're fucked. So you can either keep fucking yourself without the lube, or you can come back to Virginia and you can testify against him. And before, like, I feel like they even, like, were done, that she's like, that's fine. I'll go ahead and do that. That's fine. Promptly broke up with Hans, like, on the spot. Like, just, she pinned him a letter.
Jens?
Yeah, Jens. She broke up.
You said Hans.
I'm sorry.
I got confused.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of the Die Hard villain. My bad. Oh my god. I did say Hans. My bad.
It's fine. I was like, wait, who's Hans?
Was that his brother? Yeah, no, Jens. Yeah, so she broke up with Jens promptly, and they, like, without, like, any, like, fight, they're like, okay, you're gonna take a deal. And she's like, no, I'll take the deal. So the deal was essentially like, you testify against Jens, and then you will get, like, the first, like, parole, which would be, like, in 1995. So she's like, I'll take it. And then she just booked it back to Virginia. She pens him a letter and was like, yeah, we're done. So yeah. What? Yeah. So, which he was just like, what the fuck? And so he was pissed.
I just confessed all this shit for you.
100%. And then she just, like, hightailed it back to Virginia. So anyway, so blah, blah, blah.
Plea fucking deals boggle my fucking mind.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I think it's bullshit. It's just so they can get the information out, because they want to close the case as fast as possible, right? But here's the thing, though. It was fucked. So, anyway, so during that, so she goes back to Virginia, and she has, like, a pre-trial, essentially. So it's not her actual trial of, like, what happened, because she's essentially pleading guilty, but she pleads guilty in this pre-trial. So during that trial, she just, like, raked him across the coals, pretty much saying that this was, like, all him. Like, I didn't, like, just claiming, like, I didn't know he was gonna kill my parents. Like, just, again, like, wiping her fucking hands clean of it. Like, saying, like, this is all him. You know, yes, my parents didn't want to, like, fucking me to date him or anything else, but, like, this was all him. He didn't have to go kill my parents. Like, she said that over and over and over and over again. Or he didn't, not she didn't. But also Elizabeth addressed the sexual abuse that she had claimed. And yes, the police did find the nude photos of Elizabeth when they were searching the crime scene. But at the time of the questioning before trial, she also took it a step further and said that her mom was, like, over, like, the moon in love with her and was having a full-blown incestual relationship with her and, like, having, like, sex with her. This is what she said initially. And the prosecutors were like, is this fucking true? Like, you need to fucking clear her name now if this isn't true. Because she was just like, because they were like, is this true? And she was like, just really quiet and just wouldn't say anything. And they're just like, you need to fucking answer the question. And she was just like, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. And they're like, yeah, it fucking is. And she's like, you guys, like, took it way out of context. Like, I said that she was I didn't say it was sexual. They're like, you fucking did, bitch. Like, you didn't clear her fucking name. And so they're like, did you, like, so they had to, like, sit her down like a toddler and, like, did you fucking do this? Did you break the lamp? And, like, look at me. And she finally was like, I didn't break the lamp.
pouty baby.
Right.
Bitch.
So she finally was just like, she didn't fucking fondle me. So like essentially, so she finally like gave it up and was like, no, I didn't. And they were just like, so you fucking said that because you just wanted the deal. Essentially, she was like, pretty much was like, yeah. So she just said it to make herself look more like the victim. That's all it was about. So who knows?
Play's gotta play.
Because those pictures, the naked photos of her, like disappeared. Like they were sealed, but we don't know what happened to them. So again, it's kind of like up in the air. Like, were they just planted there? Like from like, did she put them there to like make it seem like she was sexually abused by her mom when she actually wasn't at all? Mm-hmm. So who knows? She could have taken them. Who knows? Anyway, so that was all addressed in her pretrial. So yeah. Jens was initially charged with capital murder. He fought extradition to America for 3 years. And it was backed at one point by the European Court of Human Rights until the charge, which carries the death penalty, was dropped, in which that did. Then they were like, okay, now you can have him. So he returned to Bedford County in 1990 and pleaded not guilty to 2 charges of first-degree murder. And her vagina magic had promptly wore off at that point.
Her vagina monologue
had sung its last tune. Its last fucking curtain call was up. So on the afternoon, so this is what he said had happened. Like, this is what he believes happened. It's still up for speculation, but whatever. So on the afternoon of Saturday, March 30th, Elizabeth told me that she was still addicted
What?
Yeah, so this is what she was saying.
Did you know tomorrow's March 30th, Shay?
Oh, it is. This always happens.
I mean, you guys aren't listening to this. You're listening to this in April, but...
Holy shit.
We're recording this on March 29th.
Okay, but when will it be released?
April 4th.
Will it? Because...
Easter Sunday!
Oh, okay, damn. You could do that math quick. Okay, so...
I just felt it come from the skies.
You did?
To my brain.
From Jesus?
Jesus. Because he was like, bitch, it's my resurrection.
That's right.
So... celebration.
Come back from the dead. Bring the Haysoms with you.
The humans think is my day. Anyway.
But it's not. Just kidding. Okay.
Like, I don't know shit.
I don't know shit. So on the afternoon of Saturday.
Y'all know
some stuff. On the afternoon of Saturday, March 30th.
Thank you for repeating everything. Yeah. Thank you for being my Jesus hype man.
I am. It's true. I'll do it for you. It's what Jesus would want. He would. So, yeah. So
it's a weird ass laugh. Okay, I'll shut up now.
No,
okay, go ahead.
You're fine. So this is what he was saying. So Elizabeth told me that she was still addicted to drugs, and she owed money to another student of the University of Virginia who dealt drugs to her, and that she had to pay off off this drug debt by transporting drugs from Washington to Charlottesville that evening. And that she had to use our rental car immediately to undertake this action. I wanted to accompany her, but she refused. I looked too straight. No drug dealer would trust me. So she drove off alone, leaving me in Washington, D.C. to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show alone. True story. That's what they were going to go see.
Oh my God. What a poor, pathetic baby, man.
He's like, but we're going to have sex later, right? So,
but you still love me?
Right? So he still claims that he had no fucking clue on what actually happened. He continues to theorize that she most likely had an accomplice, but he still doesn't know who. He also talks about how Elizabeth stole her mom's jewelry a week or so before to pay a drug debt. So he continues on by saying that this is the real reason why she left DC. Not really to transport drugs, but to talk to her parents about the jewelry. So he believes Elizabeth went over to her parents with the accomplice. Her and her parents had a fight about the missing jewelry, and things just got way out of hand, ending in her parents' deaths. So he kind of still thinks that it might have been not premeditated, but I think it... Anyway, I'll tell you what I think. She comes back to Jens in DC, like cries, covered in dried brown stuff on her arms, and since she doesn't cry she doesn't cry brown stuff on her arm. She cries with brown stuff on her arm. And since he probably wasn't convinced it wasn't a spa treatment, is probably why he agreed to take the fall. Bless you. Again, she cried to him, saying she was super fucked up, but why would she take another person to her parents' house and not her boyfriend? My speculation.
Wow.
Bless you.
Wow.
My speculation, because she knew she was going to kill them, and she knew homeboy would do anything for her, thus he was her alibi. And if things went really wrong, he would take the fall for her. So, again, purely a speculation. It's not based
playing her.
Yeah, not based on any sort of truth or evidence, but that's just what I'm thinking. Is I think she knew what she was doing. She was going to go kill her parents because she couldn't pay back that fucking debt that she stole the jewelry.
And she was so used to lying and being caught in her own fucking shit.
And she knew, again, like, the power of the pussy, and she was going to use that again. And she didn't give a fuck about him. Like, she dropped him like a fucking bad habit. So, bye. Anyway, so I have to
sneeze again, but I can't.
You good?
That was a long time.
There you go. Okay, so anyway, despite her efforts, prosecutor Jim Updike used Yin's confessions and Elizabeth's testimony and successfully convinced a jury that his footprint resembled the bloody footprint found at the scene, which is only verified by a tire expert.
A tire?
Yes. So
Michelin?
You're right. So Michelin 3 stars, and they also get like the best restaurant in town. So apparently they didn't really have a bunch of like blood evidence at the time, but they had like these shoe prints, and they, for whatever reason, I don't know,
from a little man or a woman.
Little man or a woman. Elizabeth gave hers, but Yin's never gave his, like, and I don't know why. So that kind of looked bad on him for sure. Wow, shit! I just broke my microphone.
Shay just pulled it right out.
I'm just a He-Man. So I don't know why, but I think it kind of fucked him a little bit because it looked like he was hiding something, but it really was like measured a little bit, and his foot was bigger than the actual whatever the imprint. But they were like, oh no, see, it's the same thing, and like the tire expert was like, oh yeah, you take this and they put like a little what is it, those transparency papers like you got like on the overhead projectors.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the 90 kids know and the 2000 like the early 2000 kids know, and he would put that down over like the little, and he's like, yep, see, matches right up. And every other person that was like an actual like expert in like shoe imprints or anything like that, they were like, yeah, that doesn't match up. But the tire expert said like it would, so that was the one that got put on the stand. Everybody else was like,
why did they use a tire expert?
The prosecution.
Oh, that's who they used.
Right. That's who they wanted to use. So they didn't call anybody else up. I don't know why the defense did not call, but he was just essentially the way a lot of the documentary Killing for Love talks about is like they kind of really support Jens and like he was fucking hosed. Like he was like they don't believe that he did the crime at all.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I don't think he did either.
Again, from what my perspective is, like from what I'm looking at, like I don't think he did either. I mean, who's to say, but like
she just
the evidence
slayed him with her pussy.
Right. The evidence doesn't show that.
And was like, you listen to me.
Right. So the evidence doesn't show that he did it, is what I'm saying. And that's what matters in court, right? So, well, allegedly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, 100%.
But that doesn't always work, does it?
Right. So, again, there was other experts that say that it was not, like they swore up and down that it was not Ian's foot, but they were never called to the stand. So after a 3-week trial, jury convicts Jens on 2 counts of first-degree murder. So Jens is sentenced to 2 terms of life imprisonment to serve consecutively. Fun fact, this was the first criminal trial in the U.S. to take place in front of the live TV cameras.
Wow.
Yeah.
Live TVs.
Live TVs. So it really was a case of whodunit. It still is to this day.
Wait, what's she doing?
I'll let you know. There is some blood evidence that was analyzed over the years, and none of it pointed to Jens. So they finally analyzed blood samples, and none of it was Jens's. However, none of it pointed to Elizabeth either. So there was another theory that they were like, there was 2 drifters in town. So there was another theory that they floated around, like 2 drifters that I guess had committed a burglary, like a couple houses down the row. And so they're like, maybe it could have been them.
But didn't she confess to...
She confessed to being an accessory to murder. So, but she was saying like...
But nothing points to her either.
No. So it's just like, well, maybe it wasn't her either. And it could have been 2, what, I don't know. I don't believe, though. I think that she had to be there. Because they talk about, like, how there was a footprint in, like, a bloody footprint.
Yeah.
But there wasn't, and there was a bloody shoe print. So they talk about how, like, people that walk around in other people's homes without shoes on means that there's a comfort level there. Mm-hmm. So meaning, like, they think, like, Elizabeth had come to the house and was chilling out. So but she felt comfortable enough to take off her shoes because she was familiar in that home. The other person that they see that there was, like, the shoe print was either a friend or something like that because he did not feel comfortable enough to take off his shoes. So they talk about that too.
There was a foot and a shoe.
Yes, 100%. So
which are 2 different things.
Those are. They were 2 different sizes. So yeah. So thankfully, due to, like, parole laws changing, like, in Virginia, Elizabeth Steele got all fucked up and wasn't eligible parole in 94 and 95. So on November of 2000, that is all written weird. On November 25th of 2019, the governor of Virginia accepted the Virginia Parole Board's recommendation to release both Elizabeth and Jens, though they neither will receive a gubernatorial, which is like a governor pardon. Both were released into the custody of ICE, like just the customs enforcement, for deportation to their home countries of Canada and Germany. And they will both remain ineligible to return to the United States forever. So, so on December 17th of 2019, Jens would return to Germany and he, like, went to Frankfurt and was, like, living his, like, little life, and Elizabeth returned to Canada. And then, like, fucking Rona happened. Can you imagine, like, being in prison and essentially, like, what if you're innocent and then, like, fucking Corona happens? That fucking sucks. Yeah. But they both maintain their innocence. I really highly recommend giving Killing for Love a watch. It's really fascinating. Because you really don't know who did it at the end of the day. I honestly think it was Elizabeth. I don't think Jens had anything to do with it.
I don't think he did either.
No, I think it was totally Jens. I think he was manipulated. And in the courts, like in like the fucking pre-trial ones that Elizabeth was in, and Jens's actual trial, they submitted like their love letters to each other, and it's pretty sad. Like, it was not sad, but it was just like letters that nobody was supposed to see. Like, she fancied herself a writer, and she was like, blah, blah, blah. But it was all about, like, sitting on each other's faces. And I'm like, yeah, you just want, like, a good fucking. And it was, like, it was pretty... He was so...
Why don't y'all just fuck instead of kill other people?
He was so... Oh, my God. That was another thing, too. Like, she claimed also in her pre-trial or whatever that he was impotent for a while until, like...
Alkaline Diet!
Right.
Jesus
no, but
Christ.
He said,
here we go.
It was a different kind of Alkaline Diet because she said he only could, like, have sex with her until after he killed her parents. And then she was like, no, I was at my parents' funeral and then I was asleep. She said this on fucking videotape. And she's like, and I was asleep and then I woke up and he was having sex with me because he got off on it. I was like, so he was raping you because you are fucked up, lady. So this woman is really, really fucked up in the head. So if you're in Canada, watch out for Elizabeth Haysom. I'm sure she's changed her name, but good luck out there, fellas. Watch where you put your dicks.
Go smoke some weed and watch out for this.
Yeah. Just stay in your homes because steer clear. It's a Venus flytrap for sure in there.
Fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show. Wait, that's
I'm hungry.
The Venus flytraps in Little Shop of Horrors. Never mind.
Oh, I get those confused though too, so
Me
it's fine.
too.
I totally do.
Oh my god, another thing we have in common.
We're destined to be co-hosts.
It's true.
Anyway, so that was my
Holy
very
shit.
long story, and I was trying to get all that in.
Fucking unsolved mysteries.
Yeah, so
Okay, well
sorry.
now I'm just like waiting for the end, and
No.
it's unsolved.
It is, but they're out. So they both served like 30-ish years.
They're out.
Yeah, they're out. I told you they went on parole.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So they served like a 30
I forgot already.
30-ish year prison term, and now they're out. So there you go. Yeah, they were released like on the same
Shit
day.
just is sickening.
It's fucked. It's totally fucked. Yeah.
Sick.
Anyway,
Well, on that note,
here we go.
now it's time to say goodbye
Mm-hmm.
to all our company.
Hope you enjoyed that.
THURDYISH 30-ish. Okay, hi guys. Thanks for
Sticking with us.
hanging with us tonight.
You're the
or
bestest.
this morning or this afternoon, whenever, wherever you are, wherever we
We appreciate you.
find you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, goo, goo, oh.
It's the best.
If you don't already, please go follow us on Instagram at 30ish.
And give us a like.
THURDYISH. Yeah, like our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you're thinking about our funny shit we show you. Let us know if you have any ideas for podcast topics. We always love those. Also, if you feel so inclined, it always helps us if you give us a little rate and review on iTunes. Helps people get to see us. And it also tells other people we're not only are we not good at driving on the street, but we are funny and give you comedic relief, but also
In this dark,
nightmares.
dark world. Yeah. Mostly the
really.
nightmares. Yeah.
No, nightmares, because sometimes we talk about murder, which means, aka Shay always does.
I do.
Okay,
so.
I am rambling now.
No, it's fine.
So, love you guys. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Remember
Don't
those
forget,
stickers?
if you want a sticker,
Liquor.
get her in the liquor.
Yeah.
Only if you get a sticker. Only if you tag us for a sticker.
There you go. Get it.
Does that work?
Yeah, totally.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Love you guys. Let's fucking roll the dice.
Let's roll it.
Thank you guys. Love you guys.
Let's roll the dice.
Except that we don't use guys. So fuck that, you little hooligans.
You guys, it's my lucky month.
Is it crime?
It's crime again.
2? Oh my god. Shay, this is not like
It's been a dry spell for like 6 fucking months. Okay.
I'm sorry. I just want to roll history. So number 4, here we go. Number
Oh,
5.
almost
Wait,
manifested
5.
that. That's
Is 5 history?
5 is I think a free roll.
Oh.
Stand by.
So I can do whatever I want.
You can do history if you would like. Maybe.
I have like 6 histories on the back burner.
It's a free roll. So you can
It's a
do
free roll? I can do whatever
I mean,
want.
or what is it gonna be? You
Or who
guys?
knows?
Yeah.
That was the sound that happens when you don't know what's coming next.
That's Wayne's World for ya.
Oh.
I don't
yeah,
I don't
duh.
mimic sounds very well as you guys. I'm Wells. Or speak. At all.
Hello, Johnson and Wales.
Hashtag podcast.
You Johnsons and Wales.
Jesus.
You guys, whales are the most graceful, incredible creature. And if you are offended by being called a whale,
I'm never offended
Call
by
me
being
a
called
whale.
I'm like, that's
call
fine.
me a fucking whale.
That's
because
I don't care.
I wish I was a whale. Fucking slowly tumble through the sea.
Dude, I wouldn't right now. The
Singing
pH
all day?
The pH balance is all off.
Yeah, and they're just like,
Thanks, Dory.
balance the pH.
What I'm trying to do right now.
All right. We gotta go.
We do gotta go.
I really wanted to get Burger King, but
You can still.
no.
It's only 10:30.
It's closed.
At 10:30?
Oh my God.